This is probably a really stupid idea because I don't really have time for this week. But if creativity strikes you, you should go with it. So this morning I saw a basically untested pattern, or at least it looked like it on Ravelry. And I want to finish making the blouse that it is within a week. And that's relatively fast as well. So it just sounds like quite a not so smart idea overall, because I also have a lot of appointments this week, but I have the perfect yarn for it and the perfect amount, and I have the perfect person to send it to. So I really want to get this done, and I've wanted to film a video where I take you along on a project for ages and I just haven't. So I thought this would be a good opportunity, and I would say, let's get started. Let's see how this turns out. Let's see if we can get this done. And let's see how this pattern is doing, because you might also like it. So without further ado, let's launch right into it. I saw this pattern that I really like the look of, which is a blouse made from mohair. And it uses very little mohair. And I thought this is actually perfect for one of my really close people who is traveling a lot soon. And she could kind of use it as a throw. And I read through the pattern, I kind of liked what I saw, and I thought I would just give it a go, despite it being basically, like, by the point I started it, I think I had like 2 projects. And it's a free pattern. It's called the Airy Blouse by Dragonfruitknit. So I'm nervous about this. I have my mohair picked out, and I would say let's get going and knit this and get this done. Now, obviously that didn't work out, because otherwise you would have gotten a new video a week ago, but I did make progress on this. Pippin. He's angry that the door is shut in his face, but if I open it, he's just going to go straight for this. He already tried to bite through the yarn once. So I did make progress on this, and I'm basically at the point where I can split 4 sleeves. So wow, quite a lot of progress actually, and I hope I might be able to split 4 sleeves tonight, because I'm going to be watching the football. It's England against Italy, and then hopefully we'll have the situation where we mostly only need to knit straight down. So far this pattern has been super easy. It's literally only like a raglan and crease sweater. T-shirt. I guess you could make it into a sweater by just making the sleeves longer. But yeah, but I would have been much further with this. I just got distracted. What did I get distracted by? Good thing you're asking. A video game called Death Stranding 2 and making tiny felt dragons. Don't ask me why I sometimes just go off one thing and then start making another thing. But aren't these so cute? These are from a small little pattern maker called Maze Landing, the patterns, and you just sew them up out of felt, and I adore them. They're so adorable. Somehow this ended a stressful week again, but I managed. So I'm almost there. I split for the sleeves yesterday, I think. It's never mind the chaos in the back on my craft table. It's Friday now, and here's the sleeves. I changed the pattern a tiny bit. I added some underarm stitches. I didn't have them, and I've done this far since splitting. So I think I'll definitely be able to finish the body today. I might be able to also do the sleeves. I'll see. I don't really have plans that much for today, and then I'll be able to show you, and that would be really nice, wouldn't it? Then I would actually be done. Saturday evening and done. Now I just have to sew in the threads and block it. It's blocked and done, and I'm really happy with it. As you can see, it sits really nicely, and it will work exactly as I thought, as a little like throw for colder evenings on warmer days that she can just take with her when she's traveling. So I'm really happy with how this came out. The mohair is gorgeous. This is, I don't know if I said it earlier, a SkeinQueen mohair. I'm going to link it below just in case you are interested. It's not sponsored or anything, I just really like her yarns. And yeah, the pattern was super clear. I modified it in one place, I think, because it didn't have underarm stitches, and I thought that because it's a traveling top, it would be better if she could like move her arms around very freely. So I cast on 7 underarm stitches for each sleeve, which also means it's a tiny bit more roomy than the original blouse, and it's a tiny bit more cropped, but that suits her very well. She is quite short like me, so that works nicely. And the pattern was really well written, was fun to do, and I think now the author of the pattern has put a few more sizes in, so if you're interested in that, then that also works. I don't know what else to say. I'm happy with how this came out. This worked surprisingly well. Maybe just, yeah, to talk a little bit about what made me pick this pattern, even though it wasn't like tested. It ironically, like normally I'm all for like size inclusivity, was that it at first only existed in one size. So I knew that was probably the size that the pattern author themselves made, and that size coincidentally worked for me in that case. I felt like I trusted an untested pattern a bit more, knowing that the one size that was there was probably the one that was actually knit before and that the finished object was a photo of. Then it is a super easy construction. It's like a raglan sweater, basically, with short sleeves. So that also made me trust it more. It's not super intricate or with steeks or anything like that. So I thought, okay, how bad could it really be? And it wasn't at all. And that I was not horribly attached to this yarn. Otherwise, I would probably have gone for something more tested. And I also am starting to kind of trust my pattern reading skills enough to read through something and then be like, okay, well, that actually works, or that doesn't sound like it would work. So all of that made me kind of not hesitate to make this, and I'm really happy with what it came out. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and bye bye.